You just zooming in on me? Getting me lined up? Stay in this box?
Yeah.
Okay.
Or no, you could go up to the curtain.
Okay. Might have to work the room, you know. When y'all hear the music, you'll understand. No, just playing. Just playing. It's not 50 shades of any other color. Wait, y'all don't have, oh, Alexa. You gotta say Alexa. So you just let me know. Oh, okay. I'm ready. So good evening, everybody. How you guys doing tonight? Doing well, doing well. You tired or you energized? You just avoiding traffic? What's going on right now? How you feeling? Pretty good, pretty good. Well, I'd like to introduce myself. My name is Azaniah Israel, and I want to talk to you today about the power of marketing and sales in elevating your art. How many artists in here? Everybody. Okay. Well, let me tell you a little bit about myself. When I was a young man, you know, small country town called Bay City, I thought I would be an artist. I was a very good drawer. They used to have these commercials on TV where you could order an art test and showcase your skills and get graded. And so my family was like, "You'd be great for this. I know you'll do good." So I ordered it. I took the test at like 12 years old, 98. The little bear, you know, the bird that they had you draw all these different shapes and lines, and I did really well. I was like, I might be an artist. Art school may be in my future. And I took it again at 15, 99. I think this is my thing. This is my calling. Art institutes are calling, but I'm too young to really take any interest. So when they find out, oh, you're just 12, oh, you're just 15, call us back in a couple of years. I was also a musician. I played in the band. I played the saxophone. Um, I played percussion. I wrote music and things like that. So I'm like, art is my thing. Yeah, but no, that's not how my life ended up. I'm standing here before you today as a tech guy, as a marketing specialist with these different type of skills, and art has been a dream deferred. It's not something that I engage in. I think that old saying, if you don't use it, you lose it, is true. I can't even hold a pencil now. I might as well use my left hand or my right foot or something different than the hand that I used to draw with and I used to create all this with. And I don't want any of you to be like me, but it doesn't seem like you will. You're in the studio, you have offices here, you're making art your reality, you're bringing your art to the world. And since I can't draw as well as I used to, and my musicianship is out the window, what's the next best thing for me to help artists grow? And that's to be here with you tonight. So that's what brings me here today. I run an agency called WSI, which stands for We Simplify the Internet, where we want you to embrace digital, but stay human. We want you to keep that human element. Don't let the robots and the cyborgs and all that take over what you're doing. Still keep the uniqueness about you and everything that you do, but take advantage of all of the great technology that is before you to get that out in front of everybody. So everybody's an artist in here, right? And being an artist, I wonder if you've ever heard this before. One moment, there we go.
Now keep in mind that I'm an artist and I'm sensitive about my shit.
Excuse my language, but anyone ever heard that sound bite before? Who knows who that is? Quick with it. Erykah Badu, you must like that. You know that song? That she started that with? This guy knows what he's talking about. If you want to sing it real quick. Okay. But yes, that's Erykah Badu. And where she let us know that she's an artist, but she's sensitive about her ish. Right? Anyone else in here a little sensitive about their art? Kinda. If you want people to appreciate your art, you want people to love your art. And the more love you get from that art, the better you feel about the thing that you have created, right? So if you were to hide your art in the back behind this curtain and no one ever saw it, your appreciation or the appreciation for your art would never be had. And the feeling that you would get when someone says ooh and ah would never come to you. And so when I think about what she said there, I think about how we can get over that sensitivity by making sure that it gets in front of as many people as possible and getting ourselves in a position to where it is appreciated throughout the world. So that's what I want y'all to think about in today's presentation, that as an artist, we're sensitive about it, but to get over that sensitivity, we have to get it out there in front of the world. So we have to understand the artist's sensitivity. We have to understand why there are sensitivities about it or what sensitivity means to you, because your level of sensitivity may be different than mine. For some artists, they're very much more activists than artists. And they want people to hear their voice and they want to make change and difference in front of the world. For others, they want to share an emotion or a feeling that they're having when they created the art. To be able to express themselves in a way that only the art can tell the story. Their words can't say it. Their body language doesn't say it, but this portrait does. Now, in order to really showcase that, though, other people who are like-minded, who understand you for who you are going to have to be found. And when I was a young man doing the art that I was doing, I felt like an outlier. Nobody really understood me or appreciated what I had to offer. You get your mother or father say, "Oh, you did good," and you're like, "Yeah, you're supposed to say that." But where's all of the fans that are gonna show me the appreciation for what I've done, that are not supposed to say it just because they love you, but because they really feel it, they really mean it? The ones that will come far and wide to see your art, the ones that will spend top dollar to purchase your art, the ones who are evangelizing the art that you do so that other people see it even when you didn't bring it to them yourself. That's what we want to figure out. And that's the idea of marketing, right? So why market your art? The goal is to increase your visibility. Market your art so that more people are able to see what you have to offer. It's to increase your credibility. The more people see that you do this for real, this is not just a hobby, but this is something that you're serious about, something that you're passionate about, marketing will help with that. And then, I don't know about you guys, but art was expensive. Getting guys, getting all of these different things that I needed. I wanted a new saxophone. And right before I stopped really playing, I had just got a Barry sax. Anyone know about the Barry sax? That's the big one that stands about this tall, that even the cheap ones are a couple $1,000s. The reeds, having to get a new reed every week, those reeds are expensive too. So you really spend a lot of money on your art. All the pencils and paint and you buy a set of paint. Do you ever actually use all of that paint, or do you go buy some more and go buy some more? And now you have this big old closet full of paint. So it can be very expensive. So either you need to support your hobby so it's not an expensive hobby, or you need to make money because it is now the thing that you do. Anybody do art full time? Full time. So that means in Austin, you're going to have to make a substantial amount of money. Let's say at least $70,000 to $80,000 as a single person to really live in the poor end in Austin. Now, if you want to live moderate, middle class, is there still a middle class? I don't know. I think it's only rich and poor these days. But you're going to have to make some money. And for some people, their art never reaches its potential in the money that it should make. Not because the art isn't good, but because no one knows about it, or because it's not presented in a way, because they know about it, but they don't know that they should be buying this original to put on their wall, but the prints are just, the smaller pieces, right? Some people are putting themselves out there in the wrong way. And so again, you want to increase visibility, increase credibility, and increase financial stability. Anybody agree with that? Raise your hand if you agree. So we all want more money, we all want more credibility, and we all want more people to see it. Not necessarily in that order, but we want all three of those, right? Well, marketing is a form of appreciation. And one thing that you're going to get as you're being appreciated is validation. Validation through sales. Is there anyone in here that does not want more sales of their art? I heard that cricket back there, and I heard that mouse pissing on cotton. But I didn't hear anyone say, I want less sales. I don't want any more validation. Well, what about this? What about motivation? The more people that book you, does that not motivate you to get up and go do the work even more? When someone says to you, hey, I'm willing to spend $1,500, $2,000, I don't know what your fees are, but let's say, a $5,000 package for photography. Is that high? Is that low, middle? Where we at? That's pretty good. But when someone does it, that make you say, I might be in the right business. When no one is booking your calendar, do you really want to get up in the morning? Absolutely. I said, but when no one's booking your calendar. But when you see, I got an email that says such and such just booked a session with me, you're motivated to get up in the morning. When someone is willing to go and spend on this beautiful art on these walls, you're motivated to go and paint some more. But if the walls are already full, your motivation is a little bit less. So marketing helps with your motivation. It further drives creativity and increases your financial success. But then what about this? The connection. The more people that connect with your art, the more you're able to connect with the people around this world. Sales creates a deeper bond with you and your audience, because for the people who are buying, you might become good friends with them and they start buying more and more. Now it's different because I know it's hard sometimes to get your friends to buy. But what I said was, when people are buying, they become your friends. You can replace those people that don't want to support. But you love them too. They have their purpose, and maybe buying your art is not one of them. But me personally, let's step outside art for a minute. Just as an entrepreneur, one of the hardest things to do is to sell to the people who already love me. I can't sell to my mother. I can't sell to my cousins. I can't sell to the high school classmates that I grew up with. Those are the hardest people to sell to. Some of it is because they don't need what I have. But the other part is, I'm just little Azaniah. I used to change his diaper, and I used to, wrestle with him on the playground. And yeah, I still can't forgive him for scoring that touchdown on me or dunking on me, because I also played sports. That was my other art, right? And finding a way to find a connection with your audience is stemmed through marketing. I'm looking at some of the art that you guys have created here in this studio. I don't know if you're noticing, but some of this stuff is exactly from people who are in these studios.
The privilege of a future that is a heavy door, but unlocked.
So, crafting your artistic identity. When it comes to marketing, that is an art in itself. And it's about creating identity that people are going to see and recognize. When you think of some of these restaurants that you go to, hotels that you go to, cars that you drive, shoes that you drive, that you wear, it's all marketing. Anyone remember the Beats headphones before they were bought by Apple? They were selling, and they still are, for $300+. How much of that actually went into crafting the headphones themselves? $20 maybe. 100 and something of it went towards marketing. A lot of times the services that you use, the products that you buy, it's not that they're the best product on the market. It's they're the ones that have been marketed in front of you. Some of us, I call my wife a marketer's dream, because she always come to me and say, "Ooh, look at this," and I'm like, "They got you, they got you." And while that's negative to me because it's affecting my pocket every time she says that, as a marketer, I understand it and I really go into it and say, now, what did you learn from that? That means that we have to market on the same fashion. And while we want to be a great service, while we want to be a good product, that doesn't matter if you don't market it. You could be the best that never was. A lot of the things that we end up purchasing sometimes are really not that great. It's just a thing that's been in front of you. They are top of mind for you. So when you think of certain things that you need, the one that's been marketing, that has shown themselves in many different places that you've been, they're the ones you end up finally purchasing from when you finally make the purchase. Because you don't buy a car every week. You don't buy a car every day. You don't buy a car every year. But you know what brand of car that you want to buy when it comes down to it. And you really don't need any persuasion because you've been persuaded over time. So we want to, in marketing, create a consistent visual style. Does that resonate with anyone as an artist in here? You have a style, and when people look at your art, that's an exclusive. I know exactly who must have done that one. You want to have a personal story behind your marketing, right? That connects with people. That's why social media is so powerful today, is because people can get into your business. They nosy. They like to know your life. And to just get up here and talk as if without that connection, no one's buying that. But what they're buying is, you're a mother, I'm a mother too. Oh, you played sports, I play sports too. You're going through this issue, I feel the same emotion as you. Then they say, I can vibe with that. I can connect with that person. But then we also want to talk about the online presence, because you take that visual style, you take that story, and you put it in all the places where people are. It used to be that you needed to have a billboard, and as we drive down the highway, you need to see that billboard. Well, in my opinion, billboards are useless now. Why? Because while you're driving, you're doing this, texting and driving. You, and the passenger is for sure not looking out the window because they're playing a game on their phone. They're texting somebody. Like, I think in the evolution of humans, our necks are gonna be curved like this, and there's this whole stand up straight posture is gonna be a thing of the past because these things have taken over. But if you know that, you got to take advantage of that. So your online presence is not just on the computer because nobody's carrying this around, but every day your cell phone, when you wake up in the morning, the first thing you do is grab your cell phone. Anybody disagree with that? Okay, I need to be like you. You wait a little? I have a friend who puts his cell phone in another room. He doesn't sleep with it in the same room. I'm addicted to my cell phone. When I first wake up, I don't have glasses on. I don't. I just reach over and see what time it is, what's the weather, all of that before I get moving. Then I go to the restroom to begin to brush my teeth or all of that. But this is right here beside me. We're connected. It took effort.
To not just go to the phone first thing.
How many years of detox did you have to go through?
I don't know, we had accountability buddies, so
Okay.
we were like really held ourselves to it. But I think after a month, we just got used to it. I've started doing it for about 3 weeks now. I get up and I read a chapter from a book while I drink my coffee, and it makes a difference. It actually, more interest, like innovation and imagination, kind of go through your head in the morning than any other times. But I also have that time where I can sit and have the coffee in the morning.
Okay. So y'all are outliers in this world.
I started doing it because I talked a lot.
The majority of the rest of the people, they're glued to these things. And then you look at their screen time, and it's like if you could get paid an hourly wage for the amount of screen time you have, you'd have a year's salary. You do 8 hours a day easy, probably more. So when you have that online presence, that means people are always looking. They're looking at your social media. They're looking at your website, and they're judging you based off of it. That's really how people look at you now, as how many followers you have, How professional and how consistent is the posting on your website and your social media? And it's important to not just do the social media or the social presence that you like, but where your audience is going to show up. How many of you hate Facebook? We got some haters in the house. We got some haters in the house. Love or hate Facebook? Maybe you love Instagram instead. Who likes Instagram? Twitter, Google Business. Didn't even know that was considered social media, did you? LinkedIn. If you're not there, then how are you going to reach your customers? Because those are the most popular platforms in the world. Millions and millions of people are buying from them every day. But you don't like it. That means you don't like money. Because that's where the money is. That's why companies like Facebook went from being non-existent to being the most wealthy companies in the world. That's why Apple is one of the most wealthy companies in the world, because it's serving up Facebook for you all day. So if we know that, we got to take advantage of that, right? And so we need to take consideration of what strategies will maximize your reach. There are certain things that are just tried and true. And there are certain things that we don't need to reinvent the wheel for. We just need to plug into the system and understand how the system works. For many people, anybody tried Facebook ads or something like that before on their own? And who still does it? Still doing it, only you.
On Instagram, they work out better from my experience.
From your experience. Here's what I tell a lot of my clients. If you want to put pennies in the slot machine, go to Vegas. But if you want to buy money, understand how social media ads work and put a proper budget to it to where it would almost be foolproof. See, some people say, oh, I'm just going to put $50 a week. Just give your money away. Don't just pick a random number, but actually think about what your goal is. And goal is not just how much money you want to make, but how many people you want to reach. Sometimes those are not equal. You need to think of your goal and reverse engineer it. See, I went to Baylor University in the engineering school. See, I'm all over the place. You thought I was an artist. You thought I played sports or was a musician. I was everywhere, trying to figure myself out. But it looks like you guys haven't figured it out. And so now that I've figured myself out, I'm presenting myself as a resource to you so you can do what you do well and I do what I do well. And together we take over this world and maximize your reach, right? But the strategy is so important. Like, where do you find your followers, or where will they find you? And it's going to be where they like to be the most. Because for some of you mentioned what platforms you don't like, but there's something you do like. And what if the thing that you're looking for does not have a presence in that location? You need to figure out how to best collaborate with other artists, right? Sometimes it's about not just going and get your own followers, but sharing followers with the next person. That's why musicians have features on albums. It's not because they really want to have someone better than them sing on their own record and make them look better. No, it's because if I cross over into this market, I get this new audience. So when you look at Instagram, you have features that are for collaboration. When you look at all the different social medias, you can tag who you have involved in this so that they can be included in what you're doing. And you want the power of that as well. You want someone to tag you. You want someone to collab with you. You want someone to feature you so you can borrow some of their followers as well. That's how you get the exponential growth. But then also, we've forgotten the power of email marketing. As much as I have like 90,000 unread emails right now, I'm glad you can't see it on the screen over there because it's embarrassing when I see that. Email marketing is still one of the most powerful tools in marketing. And it's so important for you to create that list of people so that whenever you do something great, you can blast it to everyone. And if you can send them an email, show up on their social media feeds, all five of the big ones at least, and then collaborate with other people, you have so many options to get in front of them. But when you just say, I like Instagram, that's the only place I'm going to show it, and I have 200 followers, and I really don't want to engage on social media myself, things like that. It's limiting. And I know it's daunting. I don't like managing my own social media at times either. And sometimes I forget to take a look, or sometimes I have unread messages. But then I remind myself, what is your profession? Come on, you can't act like this. You got to get out there and do exactly and practice what you preach, right? So the three strategies that I think are so important for you as artists, again, is social media, collaboration, and email marketing. Now, not to be confused with the fact that you still need a website or things like that, but you have to have a complete digital presence, but at least show up in the main areas so you're not missing on the places where people frequent the most. And that then helps you with connecting with the right people. It helps you with creating online communities because for some people, they have massive followings where people have created Facebook groups as fans of you. You didn't create the group, you didn't manage it, but people love you so much that now they have created a place and a community for you to connect to. Anyone heard of the Beehive? Right? Beyonce has this cult following of people. And you better not say anything negative, or the Beehive is going to swarm and attack you. But what if you had some type of following like that? Not a cult following. We don't want you to, but a loyalty, a customer loyalty to where they're going to evangelize for you. They're going to be the first ones to speak good about you and the first ones to defend you in a time of controversy. As soon as you drop, they're waiting on it. See, a lot of times we drop something and then we try to push people to buy it, but they should be anticipated. They should be wrapped around the door before the grand opening of a restaurant. If this is an art gallery that is about to showcase some major art and in a month from now, we need some people that want to say, hey, I can't make it, but can I go ahead and pre-order? Can I buy it? You want that. You don't want to feel like, I don't know who's going to show up. I don't know how much of this stuff I'm going to have to carry back to the truck. You want it sold before the door even open. And connecting with the right people can do that. Now, art shows, love them because it's an opportunity to showcase, but it's an opportunity to create content. So as right now we're streaming, this is on the YouTube channel or something, right?
Yes.
That's content. But then we need to pan around the room, show all the art, feature the artists, let them say a few things, get some testimonials and some feedback so that people say, oh, wait, it's a little more interesting than I thought it was. Other people like it. You know how people get. Well, if he has one, I got to have one. I got to keep up with the Joneses type of a thing. And then it's the professional networks. So here we have a collaborative space where a bunch of artists come together. So how do you maximize the reach not only of yourself, but your peers? I like to believe in giver's gain and the idea of if I help someone else, it'll come back to me eventually as well. It's not always that selfish mindset of me, but we. And then eventually they're marketing you, you're marketing them, you're referring them, and vice versa. And it comes out to be a really great opportunity for you. So we want to leverage those things. We want to leverage network. And network is not always a physical hand-to-hand thing, but that's what LinkedIn is. It's a networking site. It's not to be confused with a Facebook or Instagram because it has a different purpose. It has a different type of reach, and it gets you in front of a different type of people. People on LinkedIn, they want to talk business. They don't just want to be entertained all day. So knowing the purpose of each platform, what's the purpose of Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, or should I say X? X, right? What's the purpose of your website? Everyone in here have a website? But is it an effective website? Does it do work for you? Has it earned its keep? For some people, they're only going to the website. People only go to the website if you force them to. Hey, here's my card. Go to my website. Yeah, No, you want people to go there. Hi, welcome. Go ahead, have a seat. I'm glad to have you. Now, I'm going to quiz the class and see if everyone's paying attention so that we can catch her up. No quiz. Basically, we're going over how marketing your art is essential to a few different things. And my name is Azaniah. So welcome to the class. We want to set the right price, though. How do you set the pricing for your art? Is there a strategy to it? Or is it just, I feel like this number? And then you put it out there and nobody bites. Well, your pricing strategy is a part of your marketing strategy. Sometimes you have to get into the mind of the people, have a psychology understanding of what these numbers mean to people when they see them and how it's going to look as it goes across the screen. And if you tell the right story and you put the right feeling into it, your number is the number and people believe it and they are okay with it. And you then begin to start targeting the audience that you want to target. Now, I like to think that everybody in here is probably selling, $100,000 paintings and whatnot. Nobody wants to be the Walmart of art, right? We want to be the Target, right? Okay, maybe we can go a little higher than that. The Nordstroms, the Saks, right? The Neiman Marcus. That's what we want to be. Well, you're going to have to present yourself like that. Don't walk in looking like you're a person with champagne taste with a beer budget. You got to walk in looking the part, and that's how your social media, that's how your website, it plays a part in that. So you have this thousands of dollars worth of art that you want to sell me, but you have a $9.99 GoDaddy website builder site. Does that match? Okay, your ad that you put up, your Facebook ad, it led me, it captured my attention. But then when I went to your social media, you haven't updated since 2021. Is that matching the quality that you want to put out there? So we have to set things in the right place, understand your market, value your time, and the flexibility. These things are key for a reason. Why? Because when you understand your market, you know what attracts their attention. When you value your time, you'll set your pricing in a way that makes sense, but then you'll do the things around the pricing that make sense. And then be flexible in a way that you can provide to your ideal audience, which is your original prints, right? But then also, I still want people who can't afford me just yet to be able to benefit from me. And that's why you have your prints that then go for your what do you call it, drop shipping through the different channels that you have where they just get a copy of what you've done. Not the original, can't feel the texture and all the love behind it, but that is about marketing as well. Presenting who you want to present to, but not leaving out the people who you want to eventually become who you want to present to. Because when I was in college, I may not have had the budget, but once I got out and got that good job, right, now I can afford you. And I remember you because I had you on the wall even in my college dorm room. But now that I bought this big old house in Austin on the lake, I'm not talking about myself, by the way, I'm talking about Eric. I have the space to fill that wall with one of your originals. You want to embrace feedback. How many of you have sold, let's say, 100 items? Okay. And what percentage of those things have you sold? Have people come back and wrote a review, did a video testimony, and presented and told everybody that they bought it? 10%? 30%? The more people that do that, though, the more sales you'll get. And so we want to find ways to make that a norm. Like, you almost not buying anything from me without this video. I'm holding you hostage. I'm getting my review. We don't want to strong arm anybody, but we want to make it part of the culture of when you buy from me, it's a share type of thing. Because I don't want you to take what I have and hide it. I want you to show it to the world and how much it means to you so someone else can find the value in it too. So part of feedback comes constructive criticism, resilience, and a growth mindset, right? I want to speak to those things because what we're talking about today could be constructive criticism to what your website looks like, or what your social media presence looks like, or what your email campaign looks like, whatever forms of digital marketing. I'm only hitting some of the popular ones, but there's a lot that goes into digital marketing. Okay, you need to post more often. That's feedback. You need to improve the quality. Like maybe your website is just slow, or it's too cumbersome. It takes too many clicks to actually get to the shopping cart. Some of those things are important to consider. It helps you develop a thick skin, because part of this also, if you have your website built properly, you'll be able to see how many people put something in the cart and didn't buy. You'll be able to see how many people went to this page and was only on it for a second. It must have been something that they didn't like about that page. You'll be able to see where your opportunities are for growth if you structure things in the right way and think with that growth mindset. See, some people, they're really focused on what they're good at and they don't do what they're not good at. But that doesn't mean it doesn't need to be done. It still needs to be done. Anybody know any of this artist? Oh, you can't see it. Oh, no. Okay, let me ask you a couple questions then. I mean, it's showing here. It's just not showing there. Let's see here. I'm going to get it on the screen. You just wait. Don't worry. Okay, you want to play. Okay, how about this artist? Very popular, right? What has made this artist so popular? But how did he get there? What are some of the things that he did?
Controversial messages.
In controversial places.
Absolutely. And do you know how many Instagram followers he has? Millions. Millions of followers. And when I looked at that, I was like, wow, like how did you get yourself? Because I remember when I was doing research on this guy a long time, maybe about 5 years ago. Never heard of him. I felt left in the dark because there's millions of people that know him, but I don't. People feel left out when the person who they're looking at and seeing as someone they think that they like has been followed by millions of people and they just coming to the show. But his controversy and his ability to leverage his social media platform has done him well, putting those two things together. What about, let's see. Who knows this name? The polka dots. Y'all know how old this one is? 95. If y'all are letting a 95-year-old woman outdo you on the digital marketing, be ashamed of yourself. But she's leveraging a platform. She's definitely doing the networking, right? She's created that visual appeal that everyone notices. You said polka dots. You knew exactly where we were going with this. But her audience has continued to get wider and wider through collaboration. So when I see her stuff on social media and things, normally it's somebody else posting it. She's not a lot of times the originator of the post, but people are leveraging her brand on their platform and everybody's winning because of it. Okay, who knows this name? Oh. What'd you say? That's right. 50 Cent said he modeled his hair after him. When we look at these artists, they're well known all across the world. And each one of them, even though they do it a bit differently, they've leveraged these platforms to their advantage. And I want to make sure that you're able to do the same type of thing. Now, I don't know if you want to rise to these heights. I don't know. That may be intimidating. Some of us, we like being small town. That's me. I realized that I didn't want to be the big city guy that I thought I did, because I grew up in a small town where we had less than 20,000 people. And I was like, I think I need to go to big city Houston, big city Austin, and get out. Now I'm like, okay, let me move to Round Rock, because it feels small town. Well, they keep encroaching on my small town feel. I might as well just move to West Texas now. I don't know. So, but when you look at these three, they have figured it out. They have bold themes, and they utilize media that only perpetuates them further and further. They're not hiding it. Now they're out there in the open in front of everybody. And if it's possible, I'd like to see some of you rise to these heights. Now, that may be a tall order, but when we're talking about the internet here, it's so easy to get in front of hundreds of thousands and millions of people. If you're just worried about who's going to walk in through the door, limiting. Because think about this. You make an original. You sell it for, give me a number, how much should we charge for that? $2,500. Okay. But if you sell 1 million prints at $25, you've outdone yourself. You don't have to price gouge and someone to get the original. And maybe price gouge is a negative word, because if it's worth it, it's worth it. So if someone sees value in that price, they're going to buy. Hence, Jay-Z buying the art that he's bought, right? So the steps that we need to take as artists is to create a marketing plan, invest in quality, and engage in consistency. And so I bring those ideas to you today because I find it important for us as artists. Y'all gonna let me be an artist too? It's a dream deferred. Hasn't happened in a while. I don't even know if I can hold a pencil anymore. I can type though. And with AI, I can create art in ChatGPT, right? Mid-Journey or something. Y'all gonna say he's not a real artist. He's not a real artist. But we want to do these things, and I want to be able to help you with these things. If you don't have a marketing plan, I want to be a part of that journey with you. If you feel like your quality is lacking, and if you just want to take it up to the next level, I want to be a part of that journey with you. And if consistency is something you struggle with, like, yes, you do great posts when you do them. You send out great information to your email list when you decide to put it together. Let me help you with that. So I have 2 things that I could do quickly to help you enhance your marketing strategy. I could help you with the business analysis, in which I would basically take a time with you to understand what you do, why you do it, who you do it for, understand your goals, and then we come up with a strategy after that interview that is a good short-term solution for making quick change. And in those solutions, I can offer the services to help you do it, or I can provide you with the strategy that you can implement yourself, either or. But for those who want to do it themselves and maybe say, I just still need a little bit of help, I can't physically do it all myself, AI is definitely a thing that we're using these days. So we have an AI business analysis as well. And those 2 different products or 2 different services there can really help you on your journey, unless you decide that you want to go big time. You want me to be your CMO, I can be your chief marketing officer, and where we can just run up and take over all of the United States, all of North America. Let's go down to South America, into Europe, Africa, Asia, and your art will be in Antarctica soon, if that's what your goal is. But these are the things that I wanted to bring to you today. And if those are some things that interest you, I have here my contact information on the screen if you just want to figure out how to email or call me. But if you're ready to schedule a meeting and discuss these type of things, you can scan that side there and book a meeting immediately. So I'd like to open the floor for questions on the power of marketing and sales and elevating your art. Yes.
How would you, suggest, we do when it comes to the algorithm and like the challenges that artists face when social media continuously changes the way that people, the visibility of your work when you do posts?
So social media, the question was, what will we do about the algorithm and how the algorithm constantly changes and affects your ability to do great things on your social media platforms. Understand that that's going to continue to happen. That's the first step. So the way this is supposed to work is supposed to be ever changing because while you're on there for free, they got to find a way to make money from you somewhere. And what they want you to do is pay for ads. What they really want you to do is pay for ads and only reach a certain potential of those ads. But for me, my goal is to help you understand how to maximize those ads. So I'm a Facebook partner and a Google partner. I learn about these things before they even make the changes so that I'm able to make the tweaks before it basically ruins your business. Because what happens sometimes when the algorithm, see, that's a negative word, the algorithm. When the algorithm, the big bad algorithm, makes the changes that it does, somebody could be doing consistent sales and then tomorrow get zero because they were not prepared for that change. So my recommendation would be partner with someone who is able to understand those changes and be prepared for you and to make those changes in advance. This stuff is not a set it and forget it. It's meant to be constantly tweaked. And I'll give you an example. I had an author recently who had a $30 book, and on that $30 book, she was selling it directly from her website. The budget that she allotted was $800. So we did paid ads for $800. And in the first month, day one, no tweak, no analysis, just launch and see what happens. She got 67,000 impressions off of that $800. Now, impressions just means I saw it, I'm aware of it. But what really turned over is the conversions, 3,500 conversions. So 3,500 conversions, $30 a book. Anybody good at math? Let me just say it was.
Are you saying 3,500 people bought it, or they just went to our website?
She converted a sale, is what I mean. Correct. But I get where your question is. I'm oversimplifying a little bit, right? 3,500 sales is what she got. $800 she paid, made 11,000 back. Anyone feel that that's a good trade-off? So that's the investment that you end up making when you partner with someone who understands the strategy. And a lot of times people are not confident in that because they've had bad experiences before where they buy off the shelf, basically. You go to someone who just does ads and they turn your ads on. You could have done that. And then it fails and you feel like it didn't work. But when you go through these business analysis where you really understand your business, your customer, your goals, and all that is entailed with it, you can create a strategy that as we fine tune it over a few months, it's almost impossible to fail. I said almost impossible. I'm not guaranteeing, that you'll be rich overnight in 3 months. I'm saying there's a strategy behind these things. Facebook is giving it to me. Google is giving it to me. I understand what it is that they want you to do. And it just means that we have to make it right for you and what you do because everybody in here does something very unique. Nobody's doing the exact same thing. So we just have to tailor it for you.
What is your philosophy on organic marketing versus paid marketing?
They're doing away with organic marketing. Like the whole idea of going viral is a thing of the past. People are cheating the system. They're paying for their followers. They're paying for their views. But you can pay for the followers or views, or you can pay to put it in front of people who genuinely will know, like, and trust you. And so my belief is it's going to be a mixture of the two. but you're only going to go so far with just organic because they're displacing you. Let me give you an example of Google. For any businesses that were older businesses, been around 50, 100 years, automatically on the top of Google. Easy. Google just recently changed in the last few months to where you're not benefiting from the fact that you've been around 100 years. You're benefiting from having a well-crafted website that is SEO positive and has made all the changes according to their standard. Google makes their own standard. Bing makes their own standard. All of these search engines have their own standard. And if you don't adjust to it, you get left behind. You may remember at one time, you just write a bunch of text and make it white on the white background. They'll penalize you for that. You're not going to be on the top for that. And even if you do get to the first page, everybody that bought an ad is still above you. So how do you compete with that? You have to play that game.
So what would be like some steps? So let's say that we're starting off or we have a website, we have all these things. What would be some steps to take before we get to you, to say, hey, I'm ready to turn this on, I'm ready for you to come look at this. What would be a person coming to you that is 100% ready? Like what would you suggest that they do first?
So for me, my suggestion is that you know what your goal is, right? Some people, I think I want to do this. And that's cool. We can work towards your goal together. But if you don't know what your goal is, you're going to end up putting your money in the wrong place, your energy in the wrong place, and not continuing it. So understanding your goal and then putting a proper budget towards that goal. Your average company, and of course, you as artists are probably not your average company, but statistically speaking, you should spend about 8 to 10% of your revenue on marketing. I say 8 to 10%, that's continuing to grow, and digital marketing is displacing traditional media marketing. It used to be half of that was digital and half of that was print. Now it's mostly digital. So you have to know your goal, you have to know your budget, and you have to have a realistic timeline to reach those. And if those three things align, budget, timeline, and goal, it then lets you know what type of processes you can go through. Now, we can just start in one place. For example, social media. But my goal for a lot of my clients is to help them function like a Fortune 500. I look at the way that marketers work within these companies. They have social media presence on all major platforms. They have an email list and a campaign that's geared towards that. They have a mobile app. They have a website. And then all of these things start working together so that their paid ads go across all platforms, that their email is sending them opportunities to engage on all platforms, that their website is giving them access to all platforms, that they're linking back from other major corporations. Like imagine if your painting was showing in the NBA playoffs right now in a commercial, or it was an ad on their website. What kind of exposure would that be? So you start putting all these things together in this thing I call a digital roadmap, which when we have a meeting, I'll be happy to show you that digital roadmap. And the goal is to get someone in position to utilize all of those things, but we have to start somewhere. And if it means starting with one platform first, then we start there, understanding your budget, your timeline, and your goal.
What would be kind of an example for an artist for a digital roadmap? I mean, so we were talking the other day about Pinterest and what their platform is like, and it makes sense because it's such a visual platform. But like, so not trying to have you give away all your secret sauce, but what would be like a sample of for an artist to have, of course, a new website. You mentioned a app. I don't know how that would work or what that would look like. But what would be kind of the pillars that specifically artists would use that would be the tools, in your opinion, to get to on that, like get on that road?
So, artists in general, again, you just made mention of it being very visual, right? Everything should be very visual. You mentioned Pinterest. Pinterest is a great platform, but it's not considered one of the top 5, right? The top 5 is X, Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, and Google Business Profile. So your Google Business Profile really helps you with that local SEO standpoint. So if you want people to come into this gallery, you have to make it known that in the local area, the zip code that you're in and the surrounding areas of what you have to offer, and it's going to keep showing up in various places. The thing that's great about Pinterest is it's an image that can link to anywhere. So what I call Pinterest is more of a link back system than a social media platform, because you don't really engage with the people on Pinterest. So I would recommend that your storytelling be key, that you engage with your audience in a way that gets personal, that you know, like, and trust. So these video platforms like a TikTok, and I haven't even mentioned TikTok today, but it's coming strong as the next one right after the big 5. Facebook and Instagram Reels and things like that, where you begin to let people into your life and see what you're doing, how you're doing, why you're doing, but then get that emotional attachment. And in doing that, that then sets the spark for all of the images that you post, because people are not interacting with the images as much as they used to now that the videos are there, but they're still needed. So as you do a video, watch how your still images begin to do better because you have videos around them.
It's like what we were talking about when they just want to see your face.
Yeah.
They want to see your face. They want to get in your business.
Yeah.
They want to be a part of the family. And now you can have family all over the world, but you can control how much into your business they're in, right?
Is there, so on social media, I've heard different things about timing. Um, is that part of the algorithm, and does that have the time of day that you posted?
Yes. So each of the platforms has a slightly different timing. However, given the location that you live in, most people are interacting within a certain set of hours throughout the week. So you have your early morning, you have your lunch break, and your early evening. And then as far as days of the week go, Tuesdays and Thursdays operate a lot differently than Fridays and Saturdays. And so for your tweaking of the algorithm, you want to know which platform you're doing it on, and then set your content calendar to post at the right time. See, most people are trying to manually post and get to it when they can, when it's really best to work through that early within the month and set it on a schedule to post on its own throughout the month.
Do you have an app or a platform that you recommend for social media?
So we have our own proprietary one called WSI Social, in which you can do exactly that. In the past, I've used things like Hootsuite and Buffer, but no longer do I use those.
What about the one for specifically for Facebook? How is that? Like they have the ability to do it now?
So the business manager inside of Meta will allow you to, if you have your Facebook and Instagram connected, you can utilize that for scheduling. And each platform you can schedule on their platform. But if you want to schedule to all 5 platforms 5 times a week, that's 25 posts going out. You don't want to go to each platform and do it.
Is it true that if you put words like purchase, available, for sale, that like you will not get as much, like the algorithm basically doesn't like that?
Correct. That is very true. So Facebook in particular doesn't like you to use those sales words. And if you use certain words, your ads will get banned and they'll bump you down on the algorithm, where even though you have 10,000 followers, you wonder why only 3 people interacted with it. Because each platform is different again. They're looking at everything you do. Every piece of information that you put on there is subject to scrutiny. And so that's why I said earlier, it's very important to have someone who knows what the scrutiny is to avoid it.
So should you follow like the 80-20 rule where you're just giving out information, or how do you then, or what do you then look for?
No, you really gotta, tap dance for people sometimes and entertain them to get their attention. But some people don't want to do that, and I get it. I'm not a tap dancer. My entertainment days are over. You didn't want to play the music for me. I couldn't dance. No, I was never gonna do that. Was never gonna do that. That's not in my repertoire. But so you have to find the way to walk the line, right? And the way to stay true to who you are while if you just want to be informational, just know you're gonna be posting a lot of stuff before it gets any traction. That the whole viral thing, not gonna happen if it's just information. But look at how people on Instagram and TikTok with the reels are giving out information in creative ways. Like they put the music and it sounds so controversial. You know how when you watch your favorite drama series, you know something's going down not because of what they said, but because of the music they played when they said it. That's what people are putting into their videos. So they're causing your mind to do and think and feel certain ways based on the things that they're putting in it. They may dance while they're talking about mortgages. Okay, how does that work, right? Mortgages and dancing. And for some people, they like it. Me, I'm like, I don't want to see that, but it's working for somebody. And one reason I don't really speak about TikTok as much is, the controversy where they want to ban it. And have you heard that the algorithm in the United States versus the algorithm in China is geared towards two different things, right? In China, it's toward education and making the youth better. Here is towards dumbing us down. So we gotta understand it is real. You can call it a conspiracy if you want, but if you just open up your TikTok and see, you're just gonna be danced in front of all night. And so you want to be able to be considerate of the words that you use. You want to be able to be considerate of the things that you put in your video. If it's something going on politically and they don't want you to speak about it, then how creative can you be where you can talk around it and still say what you want to say without using the word that's going to get you banned? Any other questions? Well, I thank you for your time. I hope that you got something great out of this. I really just want to see your art flourish. And since I'm not going to be putting out any art anytime soon, if I could just impact anyone else getting theirs out, that'd be great. So thank you. My contact info is here for you. Again, my name is Azaniah. Want you to embrace digital, but stay human.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.